Live, we are live, we are live, we are live, back and in living color. Hello, how are you? Just a little bit behind. Oh my god, that's a little bit out of frame. But we're back, and we're live. And we are live on IG and we are live on YouTube. How are we doing today? Yes, a very hot day in the city. Again, we're going through a bit of a heat wave here in the city. But again, I hope you are well in your neck of the woods. Tonight, we're sponsored again by DoneTalk.com. But yeah, I'm waiting for a few of their fashions to turn my way. But that will be on as of the next show, if not next week. But we'll get some new Done Talk fashion up and running. But anyways, I am here and we are ready to go. Hope you enjoyed your day. Hope all went well in your neck of the woods as always. And we're ready to do this. We're ready to get down. So thank you very much for joining me on the Talk Live tonight. We are discussing how women use sympathy as weaponry. Yes, indeed. And it's a tale as old as time. It's a manipulation tactic old as time. Let me just drop this here like that, and we will get on and get started here today on Talk Live. Sponsored by DoneTalk.com. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. So, how women use sympathy as weaponry. Yes, women have been doing this for thousands of years. It's just with modernity and with the advent of social media and the internet, these things are being studied. These things are being viewed more widely, especially by the manosphere, and realizing that this is seen as a tactic for women to get what they want. So, be it a car, be it to curry your favor, to get themselves out of trouble. It's one of the oldest ways of maneuvering around a bad situation. Also, getting your way in terms of an absolute surefire way to get women what they want. Simple as that. There's no sweeter way around that. No sweeter way to discuss that. And you may see this gentleman in one way, shape, or another. Because again, men could use tears too, but for the most part, we don't. If we're crying for real. We're not exactly, using this tactic in order to get our way with women. Because women, well, they don't expect us, number one, to cry. Because as a man, you're supposed to be on your purpose, and absolutely on a stoic sort of goals and stoic sort of boundaries, whereby crying is seen as a weakness to women. So if women see you cry too often, it is seen as being weak, and it is something that men usually don't do. So this is exclusively, for the most part, a female tactic. And as will be seen, a very psychological tactic in how to manipulate men to get what they want. So let's start off the discussion with that, and we're going to get into it right away. I'm going to get into my browser, and we're going to discuss this right now. With first off, yes, indeed, with, of course, our guy, the Media Man. Media Man, like, subscribe, comment. Like and subscribe to this man. He is doing wonderful work in the YouTube streets, especially for the manosphere, especially for black men in particular, because a lot of his videos are tailored towards black men, to be fair. And he's finding a wider audience slowly but surely. But right now, he is on a hot streak in terms of these topics. And he had this video just a couple days ago, which brought my attention to the subject, in which a masterclass on how women to weaponize their tears. Now, again, he's taken this from another video from another YouTuber, which we'll get the name of in a bit. But she, this being a lady, lets us in on how she, discovers, uses herself as an example on how to allow men to, see that. Well, again, her channel. Well, you know what? I'm gonna stop talking. That's it. I'm going to stop talking and let this play. And then I'll follow in straight away. So you'll get the gist of what I'm talking about. But thank you very much for joining me on Talk live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Let's do this with Media Man to start off.
Let's get to another Shira 7 video. And this is a
Sierra 7, that's the name.
for
Sierra
men.
7.
Oh my goodness. And I'm glad that she said this. I want you guys to understand, and I'm gonna go into it and how you combat this. Let's cook.
And a woman acts to anger. She cries.
Let me go back.
How a feminine woman acts to anger. She cries. She feels sad. She doesn't get angry back.
So real quick, she said, how does somebody asked her a question? How does a feminine woman react to anger? And she said, a feminine woman cries. Pay attention to this, guys. And like I said, y'all may not like this woman, but she's teaching you how women manipulate men. And this is a great message. Let's continue.
If she does, it's a sad anger or a helpless anger. Okay? You can't get angry, because if you get angry, it's going to become a competition. It's going to be a yelling competition, and it's going to be who's going to win this argument. And you already know men are competitive, and they're going to do what they're going to do anyway. So the best way to affect someone is to play vulnerable in that situation.
So, and she finishes off so they can feel bad. Here's the thing, guys and ladies. Well, I'm sure ladies know all about this. But I speak of the gentleman here. Women can't use their strength, and they can't use logic, and they can't use intelligence to overpower our power, to win an argument. They can't do it. So the one surefire way that they can win an argument is if they use their weakness as a sort of negotiation tactic, as a way of currying your favor. So therefore, if it becomes a shouting match, women know that men will use logic and more often than not will win. However, instead of being being emotive is usually a losing game for a woman, because then logic is thrown out the window, and that's where men usually win. So what women do in turn is they turn on the waterworks, or they as you see, they show emotion, they show sadness, they show a sort of a fake sadness. You'll see you'll see versions like this all the versions of this throughout the night, and with that, they can literally have a man lower his guard, stop any sort of argument that they may have, and in turn get men to do what they want, literally. But and you know what? It's worked for a time immemorial, and I'll show you in a bit what's that a sign of. And here's a hint. I've talked about this on Talk Live again. And here it is, one of the great manipulative tactics women use, which is using tears, using sympathy as weaponry. Let's go.
So they can feel bad, they can feel guilty, and then you eventually get your way. So if you're angry, hold it back and strategize where that's going to get you. Is that going to get you paid? Is that going to get you more? Is that going to get you what you want? Or is crying and being sad and making that person feel bad going to get you what you want, plus more? That is the power of being feminine versus being masculine. And a lot of men can't stand to hear a woman cry.
She is absolutely right, guys. Y'all may not like this woman, but she is telling you the God's honest truth. She's teaching women how to weaponize their tears. So, women, they're not going to beat you with their fists. The majority of them. That's not Amanda Nunes over there. That's not Ronda Rousey. They're not going to beat you with their fists. So what do they learn how to do? They have to use what they have, because men hate when they see women cry. That is one of the worst things ever. The reason why I take care of my girl so much is because I don't want to hurt her, because she adds so much value to my life. I would not like to see her cry. Same thing with my daughter. Most men are like that. We hate seeing women cry, and women know that, and they can use it to their advantage in situations like this. Like in the military,
he explained it very succinctly and well. Thank you very much, Medium Man. Women can't use their fists, and for the most part, with the women that you're dealing with, they can't use logic. They don't want to use logic. They feel logic, takes too long. Literally takes too long. So what do they use in order to back a man's defenses down and to gain and curry their favor? They use sympathy as weaponry. They start crying, a fake cry, or they look sad because, as he said, men hate when women cry, or hate when women are upset. That's one thing you got to realize. So the whole mention of crocodile tears, for instance, that comes from this idea. That literally comes from this idea. If you, as a woman, want to get your way, one of the surefire ways of doing it is to cry. It's what children do. Here's an example. Children use it all the time to get what they want. So if children can get their way through crying, what do you think women will do? They're not the stronger sex. They don't use logic in order, in a lot of ways, in terms of winning an argument. So what do? They cry. Simple, because women are the more emotive sex. Simple. But again, they don't want to use this all the. Well, do they want to use this all the time? Yeah, well, sure, why not? They can get away with it. If they can get away with it, if a man catches on to these things, then that has to go out the window. But for the most part, every now and again, if they want to find their way, sure, why not cry? Let's go.
In the Air Force, particular, Air Force has some very attractive women in there. So when you become a supervisor, you may be supervising one of these attractive young women. And what used to get a lot of guys in trouble who weren't good with women, they would allow those women to use their tears as weapons so they can get what they want. But if you're a man who's not used to dealing with attractive women, you don't know how to act. So you end up giving them what they want because she's sitting in there crying. So sometimes I would be supervising a young man, and then I would be looking for one of the workers in the clinic, and I'd be like, hey, where's such and such? Oh, she had to take the day off because one of her dogs got sick. And I'm like, that's like the third time in the last 2 weeks that her dog got sick, and you let this woman take off? You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't know how to act. He didn't know how women can use their femininity against you. So that's why this message was very important for guys to understand, because sometimes women know how to use their tears as weapons because they know how to play on our heartstrings. Because us as men, even if you're in the street and you see a strange woman crying, most men are more apt to ask her, hey, you okay? Everything good? You all right? Because we hate to see women cry. No matter what everybody say, we in this whole gender war thing. I understand it. But I'm telling you like this, more men than not, we hate to see women cry. And don't let...
There it is. Media Man said it best. Women use it to, it's not only in relationship aspect, but also at work. Women cry at work all the time to get what they want. They do. They get in front of a male employer, or they get in front within a working environment. They start crying for time off. They start crying in order to, make a point, or they start crying to let a person know, to get what they want at work or within such an established environment. It's true. It's absolutely true, and that's what I'm saying. Sympathy is weaponry, not only within a relationship aspect, but also at work. And there are other aspects as well that will be explained further on as we go along tonight. Let's go.
Let that woman be attractive. And she's crying, and she's feminine, and you see this feminine, beautiful woman crying on the street by herself. You mean to tell me that 9 out of 10 guys not going to stop? Of course you are. And there
it is. There's another aspect of when women use sympathy as weaponry when they want a man's help. If they had a flat, or if they are involved in a dispute, they would cry, and men would drop and say, "Hey, what's wrong?" And they would automatically come to their rescue. One of the simplest things women could do is use their sympathy as weaponry. That's how they get, a lot of women get ahead in life that way. A lot. Because they're not the stronger sex, and they won't use logic within arguments. The only women who, don't see, well, to a certain extent, that don't use sympathy as weaponry are mothers, because we'll do anything for our mothers. But if you have a girlfriend, or you have a non-familial female in your life, be it who are not your sister or your mother, guess what they're going to use to curry your favor? They're going to use sympathy. They're going to use their tears. They're going to weaponize their tears. As is seen by this video by Media Man, a masterclass on how women weaponize tears. So if you are in and they usually use this just to stop an argument, or to stop a man from following through on whatever they want to do where a woman's involved. If a man wants to follow through and get things and win an argument, or decide certain things or decide a certain thing with where a female's involved, they'll cry. They will cry. They will guaranteed they'll cry, especially if they're caught cheating. And you see it time and time again on these TikTok videos. The one thing that women will do when they're caught cheating is they'll cry. They will cry. You don't believe me? Let's go there. Let's do an experiment right here, right now. I'll just do a YouTube video quickly. I'll just do a quick YouTube search. Quick YouTube search. You think I'm lying? You think I'm playing? Look at any of these TikTok videos out there. Any of those, let's go. Because you think I'm playing. So use when women cry when they have when they have cheated. I'll just do a quick search. I'll do it for you right here on Talk Live. Let me see. Yeah. I just want, let's see, a compilation. Let's get a compilation up. Let's do a quick compilation. Yeah, let's go. Let's go there. I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to do it right now. Okay. Here we go. Caught cheating. Number 3. Let's take the first thing we see right here. Caught cheating, number 3. Here we go. Just take a quick, just want to take a quick one. We're not going to spend too much time here.
So my girlfriend told me she's out with family, and she forgot that I have her location, and she's at this bar. So we're about to pull up on her and see what she's really doing. Let's go. Really? Are you fucking joking right now?
Okay, this is women on women.
Hey babe, I thought you were out with family.
Oh.
Who's this? Hi, this is my girlfriend. Not anymore.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Thanks. Yeah.
See, with women, they can do what they want. With women, they can do what they want. Simply. But let's go to another.
Fucking weirdo, psycho, pulling up to my job and shit. I'm dead ass being fucking followed. You see that car right there? Yeah, that's my ex's car. Right fucking there. At my job at 5 in the morning. I'm tired. Go away. Dude, you're insane. How did you find my job? Dude, get away from me. Get away from me. Dude, this is literally... Dude, I'm gonna die, bro. I'm dead ass gonna die one fucking day, bro. This is literally insane.
Just quickly, let's go.
Hi, man. We're done. Walking into school. We're done. Wow. What's your name? Oh, wow. Things are just caught up in my mind.
What's going on?
She said she got a surprise for you.
Yeah, surprise.
I want you to fuck her over too. And then.
Well, let's go away from this because this is getting away from the idea. But again, little failed experiment right there. But again, I was willing to take a swing, and not so much I have it. But again, don't worry. I have video evidence that proves my point. Don't you worry about that. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. But we're gonna get away from. We're gonna go continue with Medium Man. But you can see it on most TikTok videos. A lot of women cry in order to get what they want, and it's true. It's happened. Right? So, right. Let me, you know what? The hell with that. Yes. Let me see this quickly. So, YouTube, let me see. All right. Women crying because I am not giving up. I'm not a quitter. That's one thing. Crying to get. Let's see about that. Let me see if that works. The Lord knows. You put in a search. Now let's use this one right here as a thing. Girlfriend, cheating girlfriend cries when caught. There you go.
One thing about me, if I got a man, I'm answering that phone. I don't care if I'm at work. I'm like, hold on, this is my man, y'all. Hello. I'm answering the phone. I don't care. Like, I don't care. My phone could be dead. My brain start vibrating like a fucking echo.
Okay, we're gonna move on with there.
I mean, bro, he had him speechless, but it's so true, man. You can't be out here saying you're special. Oh my gosh, some guy wants to go for me.
Hang on. This is my man Alpha Talk here.
Yeah, like let me wear what I want.
Isn't he the king worth listening to?
I'm not here to be controlled by someone else.
You think it's a little bit controlling?
It is controlling.
Why is a dad considered to be a good dad if he wants his girl to dress modestly?
Moving on.
Girls, every day, girls.
Tell him, man, go. Matter of fact, just get your stuff and get out of my house.
Dead ass, bro. I'm gonna get my.
Yeah, get your stuff.
I'm gonna get out. Who is this, bro? Let me.
You have changed my life, Habibi. You can never take.
And we will go to the Capitol Grill on another day. We went out last.
Richard, take me out and do more.
I'm keeping my word.
No,
you haven't even.
Keeping your word.
You haven't.
That we're going to the Capitol Grill.
And we will go.
Capitol Grill.
Right now, okay?
Right
yes, we are on the day right now.
Exactly.
They didn't make the cut, and I did.
Right?
They must have not did something right. I never. I kept it. This is my house. I own this house. Okay.
You own this house?
Yes, I own this house.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. And I decided to
own the house. You can keep your word too.
I absolutely can.
Like you signed the lease, the mortgage. You can.
You are ungrateful. You are ungrateful.
I'm not ungrateful.
You're ungrateful.
You are a liar.
You are ungrateful. I didn't lie.
And she's still in this house is mind blowing to me. Like,
no, because with me, I feel like, and if that one body count is a.
Where are the chances?
Anna, I know that you hooked up with. Yesterday, my mom.
There it is. There it is. I knew I'd find you.
What?
Do that. Don't ever take her seriously.
Let's go. Let's find this right now. Now, again.
I'd like to ask him a really important question. Anna, I know that you hooked up with Joe when we're dating. And I think it's disgusting that my best friend would hook my boyfriend.
What are you talking about?
I think that's disgusting.
I didn't.
I saw you. I've seen you guys on Snap Maps. I've seen you guys on Snap Maps for literally weeks. I've seen you on Snap Map, and then yesterday. No. This TikTok is gonna see this. Okay. Yesterday, my mom called me and told me that she saw you guys together holding hands at the park.
Guys, I like my hair. It's starting to get back crunchy.
There you go. That's a slight example. That's listen. That's a woman accusing a woman of cheating. That's a woman accusing a woman, let alone a man. It's absolutely crazy to me. Absolutely nuts to me. But we're going to continue with the conversation here. We're going to continue with it because I ain't letting go of this. This is stuff for our men out there to realize that, listen, you are a pawn in their game if you allow women to use this tactic against you. And they've used it from time immemorial. Let's go.
It's not to say that you're going to sit there and, grab her bags and pay for this and pay for that. No, you're just going to be like, hey, is everything okay? Women know this. So you have to be better than those tears. You have to figure out a way to get to the bottom of it. Let her go ahead, cry it out, and then you ask her, what happened? What's the problem? You start giving her solutions. And if something is really wrong, she'll take your advice. But if it's not, she's going to get upset at you for not acknowledging the tears. Because men, we're solution-based. So if she wants solutions, give them to her. If she don't take them, then she probably was lying. She was trying to manipulate you. I mean, hey, it's that simple. So
there it is. I mean, once it's sympathy is used as a way to back men down from their stance with a woman, or to get a woman out of a sticky situation. Because, as you said, men, they hate men crying, so they'll cry themselves and say, "Oh, what's wrong? What's this? What's that?" And so the heat is off. And once the heat is off, they can recalibrate. Then they can take stock and say, "Okay, the worst is over. Let's see if I can use this to my advantage. Let me see if I can curry some favor from him. Let me see if I can get myself a bad situation from this. Let me see if I can avert any bad result that may come of my decisions and my actions." It's kind of like a timeout. It's like a relationship timeout. It's kind of like a workplace timeout. It's like it's a timeout that women use in order to allow men to back off so that they can get a hold of themselves and move forward and hopefully get what they want and get themselves out of a sticky situation. Now, again, men, since logic-based, can offer solutions to these women, but in doing that, if women take these solutions that men offer, because men are logic and solutions based, women could either take these alternatives that men create and move forward with things, or as they say, if men don't fall for that, they get angry. That's the first thing they do. The first thing they do is get angry. They get angry. If you don't fall for their sadness tactic, the next thing they do is just let loose and realize that, you know what, to hell with it. Let's just go scorched earth here. It happened to me just recently. It just happened to me recently in not Talk Live, but in my own life. When I called a woman out, and the first thing she did was to start crying, and then she got angry, knowing that I wasn't going to fall for the tears. It's true.
I'm just trying to help you guys out. So like I said, you guys may not like Sheba 7, and some of the stuff, I will admit, it's funny, but some of the stuff that she's saying and she's telling women is rather informative for us men. And also, some of it is actually true. And that's just being perfectly honest, guys.
Okay, so thank you very much, Media Man, for that. But let's get into a reason why women do this. Let's get into the background as to why, the psychological explanation for women crying. And to put it bluntly, to put it succinctly, to put it within a phrase or a sentence, they do it because women are narcissists for the most part. Men, here's the thing. It's like being gay. Men are especially black men, are always accused of being on the down low, but women are twice as likely to be part of the LGBTQ community as men are. Black women are way more likely to be gay, to be lesbian than men are. Way more likely. And they'll say it's because of us, but no, it's not because of us. It's because it is, it is, biological. Women can not only have love for a woman, but have love for a man, but for the most part, because of procreation reasons, and they're hardwired to want a and for reasons of women wanting to have babies, they're hardwired to want men more than women. Especially when you're thinking in a bisexual context, women would tend to be more apt to see themselves with a man than a woman, because at least their gender roles are more straightforward than it would be in a lesbian relationship, where you have to figure it out, where you don't know who's paying the bill, you don't know who's achieving manly duties and who's achieving ladies' duties. But let's take that here to this argument. Why do women cry? Because women, for the most part, are narcissists, even though women have blamed men, have accused men of being narcissists for years. Because they offer a different point of view, because they don't fall within a certain category. Their fallback measure are that they are narcissists, when in fact, the true narcissists are women. And it goes towards, and it's shown within the DSM-5. And I've already shown that on Talk Live. But let's go to this video here by inner integration. Why do narcissists cry? Well, let's get into it. Short video, but I think it explains a lot.
Hey everybody, it's Meredith Miller with Inner Integration. Today, the topic I have for you is, why do narcissists and sociopaths cry? Sometimes I hear clients say that they doubt their abuser is actually a narcissist, sociopath, psychopath, etc. because they've seen them cry. Usually, this is in reference to my client telling the abuser that they're going to leave, or this happens when they call out the abuse, or even sometimes during movies, TV shows, and news. I suspect there could be a few different dynamics going on here, but I think the bottom line is the same. They're crying for themselves, not for you.
Let me repeat that. Narcissists / ladies cry for themselves and not for you. It's an act of self-preservation. Guys, no truer words have been stated. It's an act of self-preservation. It's a way for a woman or a narcissist to get themselves out of a sticky situation, or to get what they want. Especially if they're the weaker sex. They can't use strength. They can't use logic. So what do they use? They use sympathy. They weaponize sympathy. No truer words to say. And this is I believe, a clinical psychologist who's saying this. So, women cry, narcissists cry, not for the person that they're hurting, not for yourself, not for the person to whom not for the person who's holding them to account, but for themselves. It's simply out of self-preservation, for a self-preservation purpose. Simple. To get themselves out of a bad spot, they cry.
The best expression for most of the situations where you will see one of these abusive people cry is crocodile tears. In case you're wondering where the word crocodile tears, the phrase crocodile tears, comes from, Wikipedia says the expression comes from an ancient anecdote that crocodiles weep for the victims they are eating. A collection of proverbs attributed to Plutarch suggests that the phrase crocodile tears was well known in antiquity, comparing the crocodile's behavior to people who desire or cause the death of someone, but then publicly lament for them. So some of these abusive people, the more covert they are, the better they are at their performances. And some of them are really, really good at their performances. Sometimes their tears might be real. It's just that they're probably not crying for the reason that you think or want to believe. I've been observing this, looking back in my own memories of experiences with abusive people who have cried, and then through listening to many different clients telling me during our coaching sessions about moments when their abusers cried. The thing about these types isn't that they all have zero emotion. And I think that might be one misconception that we can get reading through some of the literature. Sometimes they have a lot of emotion about themselves, but rarely do their emotions empathize with you or anyone else. Their emotions are about themselves. So even their emotions are narcissistic.
There it is again. I can't say it straight enough. I can't say it clear enough. If you are a narcissist, you don't cry for the person to whom you are involved in the situation or involved in a conflict. You don't cry for them. You cry for them. You cry for yourself, especially if you're in a losing battle. Especially when you've been caught, aka cheating. You cry to curry favor, to back a person down from their stance. Ergo, the reason for the meaning of the adage crocodile tears. Crocodile tears being you weep for the adage that crocodiles cry for the victims of for those who have been eaten or their victims, of which they are to consume. So that's, again, pulling layers back, is the fact that they aren't crying for themselves, they're crying for you. They're trying to gain some ground back, or they're clearly just trying to get their way. Yeah. And women have known this for time immemorial. If they want a man to do their bidding, yes, cry. Do what you have to do, because using logic, it's way too long, and you can't be physically stronger than a man, on the most part. So what do is cry.
Usually crying because it gets them attention, some kind of narcissistic supply in the form of sympathy, or your benefit of the doubt, or you doing things out of pity for them. And cluster Bs often play the victim, so the tears will come with that role. They're crying, for example, when you're ready to leave because they're going to lose their source of narcissistic supply, not because you're selfish for leaving, and not because they love you and realize that they might lose you if they don't become a better person. They're crying.
Let that sink in. I want to rewind that little piece back, because that is so key to this whole argument. What she just said. Let her repeat it again.
To you if they don't become a better person. They're crying because they...
No, let go back a little further.
Because you're selfish for leaving, and not because they love you and realize... They're crying, for example, when you're ready to leave because they're going to lose their source of narcissistic supply.
They're going to lose their source of narcissistic supply. They're going to lose their narcissistic victim. So what do? They cry. Because they don't want to lose you. Because they have that sort of control over you that you may never find another. So what do? They cry. It is a last-ditch attempt of control. It is a last-ditch attempt at control. Gentlemen, once you've caught them in a lie, or once you've decided that she's no good for you anymore and you need to move on, her behavior is not befitting of a girlfriend or a wife, what do? They cry. especially when they're going to lose something of note, a marriage. And when they've been caught in doing so, a marriage, a livelihood, a car, your financial assistance. Once they realize that they have you, that you are, that is being taken off the table, they cry. As a last-ditch attempt at control.
Not because you're selfish for leaving, and not because they love you and realize that they might lose you if they don't become a better person. They're crying because they think you're so cruel for saying that they're abusive, or they're shocked and hurt that you think they were so cruel. I've heard both of those. Not because they're ashamed of what they did and want to make things right. They're crying at the happy ending in the movie or some event in the news or celebrity gossip show, maybe because a celebrity or a movie character is happy or has something that the narcissist doesn't have. And sometimes it's about the drama fest of, oh my God, it's just so awful what happened to so-and-so. Did you hear? And they get into all of that disgusting drama, gossip stuff, and then the tears start flowing.
There it is. She's right. It's also seen as a setup for tearing another down. It's also seen as a setup of tearing someone down. It's true. So before they say, "Oh, did you see that? Did you see so-and-so? Did you see what happened here? What happened there?" And then the gossip ensues. It's sort of a setup before a takedown. That she is so emotive of the subject, but at the end of the day, she is engaging in negative behavior. So what do? They show, "Oh, I'm so taken back to such and such and such," and then they stick the knife in, ever so slowly. But that's on the rare occasion. That's like true narcissist sort of activity. For the most part, ladies will do this when they have to self-preserve, when they want to get themselves out of a bad spot.
Crying the loudest at funerals because this gets them narcissistic supply in the form of attention or sympathy, not because they genuinely loved the person who died or cared about the person beyond their mere function of giving them narcissistic supply and meeting their insatiable needs. So yes, it's definitely possible to see abusive people cry, but if you really, really pay attention and you don't get sucked into their pity ploy or your own fantasy of what you hope it means that they're crying, if you really observe them, you will see just how hollow their tears are. So feel free to share in the comments.
No truer words have been said. No truer words have been said. You have to see past that point of cry. You have to see past that expression of emotion. You got to see past their use of sympathy as weaponry. Once you see past that, then you'll get to the real argument. Then they've pretty much lost their last vestige of control over you. Then they'll let it all hang out. Then they'll really get pretty silly in terms of what they do next. Because they have no control of you anymore. Their last allowance of control, their last expression of control is gone. So if you see past the sympathy, there's no other way to go. So that's when they start going apes. That's when they start shouting and say, "I don't care about you. I don't." That's when they go to the shame, the insults, the guilt, and the need to be right. That's when they go to that level. Because there's no other way. There's no other way to win this argument. So guess what? We're just going to go scorched earth on them. But you see, as I was referring to that, the use of LGBTQ argument is the fact that when it comes to two women, they won't cry because they know that that's a tactic they both use, so they can't use it on each other. That's the scene in that clip I just played recently. They can't use it on each other, so they just do as they please. They can't use it on each other because women know that crying is seen as a tactic of control. Narcissistic tactic of control. So they don't cry amongst women, but they'll cry with men because we don't want to hear a woman being upset at anything we do. We want to make it right, not wrong. But if a woman's wrong, yeah, she has to be called out on it. So there it is. But but again, that one clip I want to just replay one more time because it is so poignant as to what she's doing.
Doing things out of pity for them. And cluster Bs often play the victim, so the tears will come with that role. They're crying, for example, when you're ready to leave because they're going to lose their source of narcissistic supply, not because you're selfish for leaving and not because they love you and realize that they might lose you if they don't become a better person. They're crying because they think you're so cruel for saying that they're abusive, or they're shocked and hurt that you think they were so cruel. I've heard both of those. Not because they're ashamed of what they did and want to make things right. There
it is. It's not as if these ladies want to become better people. They want to do exactly what they were doing before. They want to erase anything negative of what they've done. They want to escape any sort of accountability. There it is. Now, how do you do that? How do you wipe the slate clean with a man? Start crying. Start crying. Start crying. Even if it's a fake cry. Start crying. See if that works. And for the most part, it does. Because we'll back down. We'll end arguments. We'll try to make things right. But again, if this is a behavior to which we can't stand or we can't tolerate anymore, well, to hell with you. There's nothing you can do about that. But it's a way women try to get their point across. Absolutely. But thank you to Inner Integration here. And I believe it's, I just want to get her name here. See if I can get her name here. Yes. She is okay. There you go. It's Meredith Miller, and she's she is a holistic integration coach, helping you to self-heal after abuse and transform your life. So there you go. So she's a holistic integration individual. She's not a clinical psychologist. So my apologies for that. I just wanted to make sure I got that right. So again, thank you very much to Inner Integration, to Inner Integration for that video. But she offers some helpful tips on how women try to manipulate men. Absolutely. Now, again, who are women who can cry at a dime? Actors and actresses. So we are going to. That's why when we see a woman crying and we realize that this is a tactic of manipulation over men. Men see that and say, oh, you're a real actor. We'll accuse them of being a real actor. Well, let's get a real actor out here to show you how women cry on cue. And this is from The Conan Show. And again, we're just going to show a woman who literally can cry on cue within 2 minutes. Literally. Let's go.
You can cry on command.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair use, fair use, fair use.
How long do you need to prepare for that?
I mean, I think if we just keep talking and I don't know.
Okay.
At some point, I should probably drink some water so that I'm hydrated.
Okay. You mean if I just keep talking to you, you're going to start crying at some point?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do I have to be talking about things that are related to Jurassic World or just things in general? Okay.
It could just be small talk. It doesn't matter.
You know what I like about Home Depot is you can get duct tape, all kinds of duct tape. You can get gray duct tape.
Yeah.
You can get black duct tape. I've
Home Depot is huge, right?
I've gone to Home Depot many times.
You can see how you can see here on Talk Live how she's already automatically starting to cry. She's already becoming emotive because women are emotive in general.
Things together to other things. I've bought piping. I really like buying nails and wood. I like buying. I was just wandering the aisles sometimes, buying all kinds of things at Home Depot. Sometimes I'm there for days. I stay in the Home Depot for days and days and days and days. And I just stay there. And sometimes I just wander the aisles all by myself in Home Depot. And I think about all the amazing things that they have. And I think about all the incredible products they have. And I think about everything that they have at Home Depot. And I just think to myself, my God, Home Depot, how do you do this? How do you do this incredible thing? You give so much and you get so little in return. I mean, some people pay for the stuff, but are they really paying you enough for what it's worth? They're not really paying you what they really should have. And I think that at some point, people should actually give Home Depot what they're due because it's not fair. It's a company. It's in a company that should be compensated.
Isn't that funny? A woman can find an emotive center and cry within 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, they're crying. In order to get a result, get what they want. Because as I've always said, women are the true narcissists. And in order for a woman to get what they want, in order for them to find curry, or to curry some sort of favor or some sort of result from a man, they'll cry. They will cry. It's seen as one of the better tactics of manipulation that women have in their repertoire. Because men can't cry too often because, again, women lose any sort of control or any sort of respect for a man who cries regularly. So it can't happen the other way around. So it's usually women who use this on men because men hate when women cry because we don't want them to cry. We want them to feel better. We want to make things right. We're solution-based. So once they are back into a corner, once they've been cheated on, or when they want to get something they want, it's the same with children. That's why we compare women and children. Same thing. It's the only experience, separates the two groups. Women will cry on cue to have a man back down from their stance, or when they realize that, as inner healing already said, in order for them not to lose their person of narcissistic supply, the person whom they can manipulate in narcissistic ways, they'll cry in order to regain control of that individual, more than likely a man. So take that in. And we talk about that at Talk Live tonight. Thank you very much for joining me at Talk Live on IG and YouTube. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're just telling you and just letting you know how things go down. That is one of the key manipulation tactics women have in their repertoire over men. Because they can't use logic, they can't overpower men with their strength. So what do? They cry. It's a recurring thing because that's the way of control for a woman. That's the way for a woman to get what they want. That's the way for their narcissistic supply to be available at all times. That's if we choose to listen as men, that is. When we get tired of it, well, then they throw the kitchen sink at the issue. And they get real, they get angry and irate and they go crazy and da-da-da-da-da. And then if they're that crazy, then, they'll try to set a man up in some way, shape, or form. Because, women are very revenge-based. That's another show on Talk Live right there. But again, we're going to go to Olivia Alexa. She's heating up these YouTube streets. And again, Olivia already goes into reasons and how women use crying as a manipulation tactic. Well, let's go back further. This is a short video. They're gonna mention different ways of manipulation tactics women have over men, and one of them being crying. How women use sympathy as weaponry. Let's go.
It's always painted that men are so deceptive, lying, and manipulative, not caring about who they hurt along the way. But women are masters of psychology, and a lot of them use these 6 tactics I'm about to share with you. 1, withdrawal. Women know how to have you worried, blaming yourself, etc., all while they're all smiles watching you wonder what the hell you even did wrong. Guys have almost been programmed to believe that if their lady is keeping to herself, then something must be wrong. Your brain automatically goes into panic mode and you start thinking if you missed her birthday or anniversary, or if it's something else that you forgot or something that you did wrong. Now, the next thing you know, that you're trying to make up for something that you didn't even do to begin with. Women do this to try to keep you on your toes. It's a way to make sure that you don't get too comfortable and start taking her for granted. It's a scare tactic to have you constantly thinking about her and start panicking because you feel that you might be losing her. Number 2 is mirroring.
Quickly to discuss that, women, because they are masters of social cues, they are masters of emotional manipulation. They'll use withdrawal as a tactic. Yes, they will not call you for days, or they'll not call you for a few weeks, because they want to keep you on your toes and keep you wondering, keep their eyes always on them. Again, a narcissistic trait. They want attention being put on them and not on you. So again, the idea of men being being narcissists is sort of disingenuous. Continuing.
Mirroring is when someone copies the characteristics and traits of someone else. This could be through body language. This could be through verbal and physical habits, attitudes, tendencies, etc. I have a separate video on mirroring that goes in further detail, but basically they evaluate what you need in a relationship so they can pose as a perfect match for you. The problem is that it's never truly genuine. It's a tactic they use to bring your guards down in order to easier fulfill whatever agenda they have. Number 3 is guilt. A woman knows that there's a heavy responsibility on men to ensure that their woman is happy and well taken care of. She plays on that to get what she wants, or when she wants to get your emotions under her control. Guilt tripping you almost immediately changes any situation to work in her favor. Do you know how many men know something is off in their relationship? The signs are there that she's being unfaithful, but she throws a tantrum, or she turns on waterworks, or she blames the man for being insecure or controlling. And what does the man do? He starts questioning if he's tripping or if he's thinking too deep about obvious signs that he's seeing. Then he's apologizing to her to make her feel better when she knows that he was right all along. Number 4 is the hot and cold method.
There it is. Guilt. Using sympathy as weaponry. Crying to get what a woman wants. There it is. When a man realizes that something's wrong, a woman will cry to get that control back over a man. Have him question his actions. Even though you've done the logic and you've done the math and mental math and realize something's not right here, and you should go with your gut, a woman will wrap you in and say, nah, let me just use these waterworks here to back him off that idea and and get him into a point of indecision. Yeah. They'll do that. In fact, most women have done that. In fact, most women talk about doing that. They have little workshops amongst themselves, little chat, and these are chats in which men are never privy. They're never part of these deals, but they talk about these certain things and how to get a man back. Say, what should I do in this situation? Cry. Use guilt. Ask him to question himself in order to get what they want. Guys, we're at the first hour. We're going to come back right now and Talk Live. We're going to explore this topic further. Come back to us. Like, subscribe, comment. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're going to continue with Olivia Alexa after this short break. Stay tuned. I'm going to continue on YouTube. But IG, please come back, and we'll discuss this topic that much further. Talk soon. And we are back live on Talk Talk Live. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers with part 2 of this night here. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Talk Live. We are continuing. My Jays are leading for some reason. Yes, indeed, in the background. But again, we're continuing this topic, and we were just discussing with Olivia Alexa manipulation tactics women use to control men. Because they can't use it on themselves because, this is, sort of a female trait, not a male trait, so they know all these tactics themselves. So, yeah, one of the topics that we have already discussed is guilt. Using sympathy as weaponry in order for women to keep their narcissistic playing field alive. To keep a man nearer to them. To question his judgment. And we'll just go to the last one here, one more point on here from Olivia Alexa, and then we'll continue with another video.
This is a staple in the manipulation playbook. She showers you with affection and attention, making you feel comfortable and attached to her. Then she catches you off guard with a disappearing act. Going goes, conversations seem dry, her demeanor starts to give off very much cold shoulder vibes. That's when those answers start sounding like this. I'm fine. Okay, nothing. Yeah, I'm busy. Talk to you later. You don't realize it, but she's getting you hooked. Now you're sitting there like an addict, messaging, asking what's wrong. You want to see her buying gifts to try to fix whatever you think is happening in an effort to get her attention and affection again. Number 5, the power of suggestion. This is a very covert trap. Have you ever been with a woman and she conveniently sticks into the conversation about this shoe that she saw or this dress that she saw online and loved? Or if y'all are together and she sees something that she likes and she says things like, I would love it if a man did something like that for me. Or I've never had a man buy me anything like that. What she's doing is subconsciously putting actions into your head. She's not directly telling you to buy it or do certain things for her, while at the same time influencing you to want to do these things for her. Number 6 is love bomb.
I think we'll leave it right there. But she's right, especially with the last one. That is a huge tactic women use. Is that they'll throw little, suggestions. They'll throw little subliminal messages out there that no man has done this for me, or I want I want one day to do that for you, and it's sort of a subliminal message saying that why don't you get me this or do that for me, or take your money and use it on me. Keep your attention on me. That is narcissism 101. Always keep your attention on me. So, thank you very much to Olivia Alexa for that. That was very informative as well. But let's try and let's get back on topic here. Yes, indeed. And we'll finish up with this. Where is it now? Did I just pass it? Yes, okay, that's the one, and that's the other one. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think this is the one here. Yes, with Riva TV. Riva, I subscribe to her. She's doing wonderful things in the YouTube stream. Please like and subscribe to Riva TV. And again, she has this little short on what women use in terms of winning an argument or stopping you from, doing what you need to do in order to, move forward with life. And, to curry their favor and to, stop using logic in order to stop abusive narcissistic behavior by women, who are the real narcissists, to be fair. Let's continue.
One thing that men should be grateful about for TikTok is for the men who are unaware of all the tactics of manipulation that women use in relationships. Like when you come on TikTok, they just come on here and expose themselves freely, so that if you ever had any questions or if you ever wondered if a woman was playing you or playing with you whenever she started crying because you're in an argument with her and you're telling her all of the valid points and she has nothing else to say and you wanted to know if she was manipulating you, this video just gave you a lot of context.
There it is. So, just to sum up. Actually, let's repeat that again one more time. Let's repeat that one more time quickly.
One thing that men should be grateful about for TikTok is for the men who are unaware of all the tactics of manipulation that women use in relationships. Like when you come on TikTok, they just come on here and expose themselves freely, so that if you ever had any questions or if you ever wondered if a woman was playing you or playing with you whenever she started crying because you're in an argument with her and you're telling her all of the valid points and she has nothing else to say and you wanted to know if she was manipulating you, this video just gave you a lot of context.
There it is. A woman will do whatever. I mean, let's end things this way. Women are master manipulators because women are the ultimate survivors. They will do anything and everything to get what they want. And if they have to cry to do it, they'll do it. They will do it, gentlemen. Especially if you're a man who is in control of his life, who's a high-value man, who is on his purpose, and who senses any sort of doubt or any sort of manipulation, control, or something wrong within a relationship. They'll cry. They'll tap into their emotive center and cry, because that's one way women can use narcissistic tactics to control you. And it's not out of sympathy for you. They do it for themselves. It is a selfish tactic women have. And all women have this to a certain extent. Even when they're in the right, they'll cry. But again, women are seen as a motive in and of itself. But when they're in the wrong, they'll really cry. Because men don't want to see women being emotional and sad. And they use that as a tactic to regain narcissistic territory over you, as has already been explained tonight on Talk Live. So that's how women use sympathy as weaponry, guys. So the one thing you must realize, that if you, deep down, if you in your gut sense, because men use their gut, women use their, as they say, their feminine wiles. They use their intuition. Men use their gut. If you, in your gut, in your heart of hearts, realize that you are being taken for a fool, believe yourself. And when women cry in order to get you back on side, you know you're on the right track. Let me say that again. You know you're on the right track when women, and this is outside of an abusive relationship, especially if men start that abuse. But if women use their sadness as a way of gaining their control, as a way of gaining narcissistic edge over you, and regain that territory that they have already established over you, believe me, you're on the right track. Control, they will cry. They will cry. They will cry. Especially when they're in the wrong. They'll do it. Because women are the more emotive part of the species. And if they have to manipulate you in order to get their way, they will do it within a heartbeat. Because they can't fight and they can't use logic, for the most part, especially when they're in the wrong, to get you back on side. We're just over an hour, so we're going to end it there. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. And I hope this gives you pause. I hope this gives you thought. I hope this makes you realize that, gentlemen, if you're on the path and you realize that you are in control and women use sympathy as weaponry, you know you're on the right track, and do not be dissuaded by a woman's tears to move forward in life. Don't do it. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. You got to see through it. As we've said tonight, people say crocodile tears for a reason, because they see you as the victim and they are there to consume you emotionally. They're there to consume you emotionally. Even though it hurts, it's not hurting. Even though you may think their tears is hurting you, it's actually used for themselves. It's a very selfish way of getting you back on side. Let it be said. Let it be said. So we're going to end it there. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live. We'll be back again either tomorrow or next week. But again, I wish you well. Until the next time, we're sponsored by Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. Like, subscribe, comment. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Duntalk, DUNTALK.com. Spring, summer lineup now. And again, shorts are. I keep promising about shorts, but we will get the shorts out. We will. Thank you very much for joining me on Talk Live on IG and YouTube, and we'll be back next time, either tomorrow or next week. But I will put out notifications to say as such. All right, so thank you very much, and good night from Toronto, IG. And thank you very much for joining me live on YouTube here. To my YouTube friends, this is already going out on YouTube. Again, things are changing, and I have to make sure that sticks. So let me, thank you very much for riding with me on Talk Live nonetheless. Live on IG and YouTube, and we'll be back next time, either Friday